Hi, this is Priors. Today I take a look on a PLO hand Daniel Negreanu played recently. This footage is commented by Joe Ingrams, and I also want to add my own thoughts to his comments. Let's go.
One of the greatest things about Pot Limit Omaha is that you never have to fold a button, and then you never have to fold to a 3-bet. In this hand, we're going to see one of the best PLO players in the world, Ben Sulsky, aka sauce123, take battle against amateur Pot Limit Omaha player Daniel Negreanu, while Daniel's laying down on a damn bed. This hand takes place at 100 to 200 Pot Limit Omaha in an 8-game mixed table, and I believe Daniel is streaming this on Twitch for all the fans out there to go ahead and see. Let's take a look at the hand. So they're going to start this hand off pretty deep stack. Daniel's got about $80,000, Sauce has about $35,000, and Chow Ren has about $25,000 in the big blind. So Daniel's going to raise it up with 9-7-3-5. He exclaims, I don't like folding, I'm not here to fold. I agree. I'm never folding a button. 9-7-3-5. Some people might look at this hand and say, that hand's shit. I say, baby, let's play. Let's do it. He goes ahead, he makes a raise. Now Sauce is in the small blind. He's got a questionable hand. Now I gotta be honest with you. When you watch this hand, if Sauce's name was like Fun Player Fred or Action Andy, we might have a very different take on this hand. But because it's Sauce, we're gonna try to find some rhyme or reason behind this play that he does in this hand. So he goes ahead and calls with Queen 5, 9-9 with 3 clubs. Chow Ren goes ahead and 3-bets the big blind. Daniel, obviously, we never fold the 3-bets around here at PLO hands. He goes ahead and calls. And Sauce decides to overcall too. In this spot, I don't know whatever, fuck it, man. Sauce doing it, right? It's gotta be good. Let's go to the flop. Let's see what happens.
I'm not sure if Joey would be a winning player in today's online PLO games. I'm also not sure if his comments are only made to entertain the audience or if he's trying to make real analyses of the hand. Whatever is the case, I definitely disagree with most things said so far. You don't want to open every button. This is even more true if really aggressive 3-betters are in the blinds. I don't know about Chow Ren, but at least Sauce is really active. The reason why we don't want to open every button is pretty obvious. Let's say we have a bottom 60 to 100% hand and made a steal attempt. If we now face 2 blinds that are both 3-betting 15% of the time, we face a 3-bet in 1 out of 3 spots. And we have a terrible hand that will get us in a lot of trouble. Position will help a bit, but not enough to make up for that for our bad starting hand. Next point. It's definitely bullshit that you don't want to fold to 3-bets. In my book, I want to fold to some 3-bets. It's true that I don't want to fold most of the time, but you still should fold some. Now to the actual hand of Daniel. This is a close spot if you want to open it. I personally would open it, but this hand is borderline. After we get squeezed, I would continue and see a flop. Let's move on.
So the flop comes down 5-4-3. Daniel flops top and bottom pair. Sauce has top pair, 2 backdoor quad draws, 1 backdoor club draw. Not a very good hand for Sauce. Sauce decides, hey, we're gonna bet here. He bets $3,300 into $7,100. Daniel's in this spot. He's got a very easy call. He's got top and bottom pair. He can make a full house. He can potentially bluff on a 4. He's got the backdoor weak diamond draw. He also blocks 6-7, so he can make a straight on any 6. Sauce in this spot, like I said, I'm just gonna try to imagine like what he's thinking here. So I guess he's thinking in this spot 3-4-5. Chow Ren 3-bet from the big blind. He's gonna have a lot of higher cards, overpairs, hands like that. Might not be 3-betting as many rundown type hands. So in this spot, he's gonna think that Chow Ren, most likely being stuck in the middle there, is just gonna go ahead and fold. He's not really gonna be overcalling with some of those maybe double backdoor type hands. He also probably thinks that Daniel Negreanu, not a very, doesn't play too much Pot Limit Omaha. This is also an 8-game, so Daniel might not want to get too out of line during the Pot Limit Omaha sections of the time. Daniel probably thinks he's got an edge against these other players in some of these other games. So in a spot like this, I guess maybe Sauce is thinking that. He just thinks that Chalren's not going to fight back in this spot. Daniel's only really going to put more money in if he's got a really strong hand. But I just think in a spot like this, Daniel's going to have so many hands to be able to continue with that have a pair plus a 6, or even some pair plus 2s, 2-pair hands. He's obviously going to have some 6-7 as well. And in our hand with Sauce, we don't have any blockers. But so, yeah, I don't know. He bets, Daniel calls. Let's see a turn.
The flop analysis of Joey is good. I agree with that Kid Poker has to call here, especially because Sauce might donk light, as this board most likely missed the preflop aggressor, and he is also sandwiched between two people. So Sauce basically just has to worry about Daniel, making this a good spot, trying to pick up the pot on the flop. Let's move on.
Turn comes down, it's a jack of diamonds. This gives Daniel a backdoor 5-5 flush draw. Sauce goes ahead and checks his hand. Now Daniel's got a decision. He's laying in bed. He's got the laptop on his lap. Laptop on lap. Makes sense. He's in the head. He's like, oh my God, okay, what am I going to do? Oh my God. You don't know what he's going to do. This is sometimes what happens, unfortunately, when you play PLO and you call any hand pre-flop to a 3-bet. You end up in some spots where you're just not sure what exactly you should be doing. In this spot, thought about this spot a lot. I think it could go both ways. I like betting slightly more than checking. They are deep. We do have the 6-7 with 7 in our hand. I'm not too worried about a check raise here in this spot. I would pretty much expect Sauce to just go ahead and bet a straight if he had it in his hand. Bet a 6-7. Maybe check a 2-6 if he has 2-6. Maybe check ace-2. But yeah, I don't really expect to get check raised too often in this situation in Daniel's spot. Obviously, if we get check raised in this spot, it does pretty much suck. He says he's not going to fold to a check raise. I'm not sure if I believe him, but you know, I mean, he can make a diamond potentially on the river. Unfortunately, he might have some reverse implied odds on making a diamond on the river, and he can also potentially bluff a board pairing card. Even though I don't think he can actually bluff a jack of pairs. So, yeah, I don't want to get too deep into it. I don't want to make people mad out there because I get really deep into these hands sometimes, and people want me to die. So I understand, I get it. Want me to shut the fuck up and get over with the hand. So let's get over with the hand. So in this spot, I think I like betting just a bit more than checking. Fold out Sauce's equity. Pretty much a lot of turn cards, or river cards rather, are going to be pretty bad for us. So, yeah, I just like betting a bit more than checking. But you can't go wrong. The other option. Let's see the river. So the river.
At first, if you get into a lot of spots where you don't know what to do, you are probably just not doing enough work besides the tables to figure out the correct place. Let's move on to the hand. I don't agree with putting in a bet, as it really sucks hard if we get check raised. Actually, we might have to call it off, and we don't want to put in additional 30k with our hand. So, I would check behind and see a cheap river and play a small pot with a not that strong hand.
River is a 6 of hearts. This gives Daniel the second nut straight. Sauce goes ahead, tanks, bet 6,000 into 14,000. So a little less than half pot. So now in this spot, I can understand where Sauce is coming from. He's trying to give himself a good price on his bluff. He thinks that in this spot, if Daniel doesn't have a 7 or doesn't have a 2 to make a straight, he's just going to fold. So I can definitely understand that thought process where he's coming from. When we think about Daniel's range, so what hands is he going to call the flop with and then check back with on the turn? I think it's going to have the 2 pairs in it. I think it's going to have some 5-2, 5-6, some hands with a 7 in it, maybe more hands with a 2 in it, but maybe even more than that, more hands that have a 6 in it. So what I mean by that is some type of 4-6 type hand. So we think, would Daniel, we don't really know if Daniel would be betting those hands in the turn. Some players would bet a hand like that in the turn. Some players are going to check back those hands in the turn. Daniel has a set, probably going to check back in this spot too. So in this spot, Sauce is just basically hoping that Daniel has a 2-pair hand that he's just going to fold, and his hand does look like he's got some type of straight here in this spot when he does bet. So now Daniel says, oh my God, I hope he doesn't have 7-8. Daniel slow rolls him a little bit, and then he makes the call. He gets really excited. He can't believe what Sauce did to him.
Bro, not 7-8, whatever.
The river is really good for us. Facing the small bet, we can definitely pick the standard play and just call. Although I like putting in some moves from time to time. If Daniel decides to raise here, he might get sauce to lay down a split pot. Given his image, sauce might think he's more on the nitty side, not putting in river raise bluffs. I really like applying some pressure and bombing the river. I'm pretty sure sauce would lay down the second nut straight. Our line perfectly makes sense. Daniel can credible wrap the nuts this way, as the hand went down so far. But calling, as I said, is also fine.
Yeah. Don't have 7-8.
What are you doing? He's trying to bluff me.
Actually, as it turned out, I made more money. Nice try, Sauce. Are you just trying to give all the 300,000 back now?
Okay. By the way, I really hate sauce preflop play. His hand was way too bad to defend it in the small blind. In contrast to that, I love his preflop play. He was just unfortunate to run into the top part of Daniel's range. Thanks for watching. Feel free to let me know in the comments how you would have played the hand in Daniel's spot. And please subscribe and like if you liked the video. Bye.